Hi everyone, this is Daraje. Today I want to do something that was a bit more out of the box for me. I usually draw original characters or animals or fantasy creatures, but in this video I decided to try to go outside the box and draw something from an existing property, like Mario. So in this episode I'll be drawing Mario characters as if they were mer creatures. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I start off with Mario. Mario was a interesting first design. I took like a lot of images from Pinterest for references, and one thing that really strikes me about Mario's design is his red shirt and his blue overalls. And I think like his whole color palette like really makes him stand out. And I wanted to keep like the overalls, but I didn't know how to work the tail into the design, but I decided to incorporate the overalls with the tail. But the issue is I just didn't want it to look like a Mario with a tail fin, because I thought that would be too boring. I want it to be more unique looking, and I was deciding on whether or not to add the shirt or not, the red shirt, but I decided it kind of looked better with the red shirt, so I added it on to there. And to make it stand out, I decided to add like the goggles from the dolphin in Mario. I'll put the image right here on the screen, but I decided to add those goggles, and I think it really makes it like come together and kind of looks like a Mario power up. Like he took like a dolphin power up and he now gains the dolphin goggles and the merman tail. But here's the design. Let me know what you think. Next character that I decided to turn into a merman is Luigi. And this one was a bit more straightforward. The issue I have with drawing people is the proportions, and it's something I really need to get better on. It's just drawing people in general, because I usually draw animals and just fantasy creatures, but this gave me a good practice. So for Luigi, I tried to really figure out like what I wanted to do with the pose, the head shape, but thankfully with like the Mario characters they use like pretty simple shapes. So I just turned his overalls into a merman tail and gave him the dolphin goggles just like with Mario, and I actually think like this came out pretty cool. If you have any thoughts or names of what this power up could be called, feel free to let me know. But yeah, this is Luigi. Go ahead and let me know what you think. The last Mario character that I turned into a mermaid is Princess Peach. And I think this one was fun to do because I think her design in of itself kind of lends into could be easily translated into the mermaid aesthetic. So I kind of did a similar thing with Mario and Luigi, where I gave her a mermaid tail, but I tried to play around with the frills of her dress and made that part of the tail, and made the end of the tail fin like a heart shape, because I think that's kind of like her motif is hearts. And yeah, I kept the design kind of basic and similar to her original design, and gave her the dolphin goggles like the others. And overall, I think this came out pretty good. But let me know what you think. And I think that does it for all those designs. But I think this was a fun little exercise for me to step out my comfort zone. and draw something that I'm not used to drawing. And drawing people is something I want to try to get better at. And it's always good to step out your comfort zone and try something new or something you're not comfortable with, especially with art, so you could grow in that area. And yeah, but overall, this was really fun. And if you have any other thoughts or suggestions of other things I could design or other challenges I could do, feel free to let me know. But God bless you and have a nice day. Bye.